Okay, it never fails. As soon as I turn on the camera, somebody wants to show up right behind me and talk to me. It is absolutely amazing. I don't know what laws of the universe that is governed by that, but as soon as I stop to film, somebody has to pull up behind me and want something. Okay, sorry for the rant. So this is my roughly 30-day review of the Ford Maverick. I'm going to start with the good and kind of end with the bad. The good is that it's got really good headroom and it has really good visibility. And the Turbo 4, once you hit about 30 miles an hour, is definitely a more than adequate amount of power. It's pretty peppy once you get above about 30 miles an hour. The engine, you can't really tell anything just by looking at it. It's a very modern engine. Things are kind of hidden. Style wise, I think it's as good looking as anything else out there. That's very subjective, obviously. Think it looks good, think it looks bad, whatever. It is sprung oddly stiff. The suspension's pretty stiff, which I don't find to be necessary. It really rides more like a truck, and this is obviously not a towing vehicle. This is a small bed. The bed is definitely, I like the utility factor. Small bed, you can carry around lots of stuff that you don't necessarily want maybe inside a vehicle. It is definitely a very good little utility vehicle. I wish it rode a bit more like a car, since it's not meant for heavy towing. You're not going to tow anything heavier than a jet ski in something like this, otherwise you're going to be stressing it out. So overall, I'm going to compare it to the last generation of Ranger. If you got like a 2010 extended cab Ford Ranger, this is really a replacement for that. The fact that it's front wheel drive is going to make it way, way better in the snow, which I don't generally have to deal with, but I'm sure that is a much appreciated improvement in that respect if you live in an area with some bad weather. Interior space wise, this is really a single person's car. If you have a family, this is not the car for you. There is no room in the back seats. If you're a small person, this is a roomy car for you. If you're 6 foot, over 200 pounds, this is not a particularly roomy vehicle. And the back seats are the doors are kind of deceptively large. There's really not a lot that you're gonna see back seat wise. There's not going to be a lot of legroom. So my real criticisms of this car are mostly on the interior. I don't like this knob. It's just very counterintuitive. Has a very good backup camera. Seats are not comfortable. They are not uncomfortable, but they certainly are not particularly comfortable seats. A full-size truck is a way more comfortable ride. If you were to get a base model Dodge Ram, whatever the cheapest full-size truck is, way nicer interior, in my opinion. I like that this car still has a key. I like that. I like the simplicity of it. Stereo. The stereo, by today's standards, is absolute garbage. I know this is a base model and I didn't pay for any premium stereo, but most base model stereos these days are quite good, and this is total garbage. So, very much an economy car, very much an entry-level car. I personally think it's hard to justify $24,000 for this, but it is what it is. I don't dictate the market. That's just what things cost. This one does not have power mirrors. That is not a standard option. I thought that was a little strange, because I thought that was kind of a standard thing. Not a big deal. I don't adjust the mirrors very often, so not a deal breaker. So yeah, great little budget car, great little get around car. Long road trips, you're not going to be delighted. Also gas mileage. I'm averaging about 27, which I'm not going to say is bad, but I'm not impressed with that. I'm not impressed with that at all. This I expected to get much closer to 30. Personally, I don't see 27 miles per gallon as being anything to brag about. These wheels are really ugly. They could have made those look a little better with zero additional money. Couple things. I found that underneath here, if you look, that shock mount is very low. I thought that was kind of strange, that the shocks are mounted so low to the ground. It just seems like that's going to be prone to hit something or something to get hung up on that. Yeah, I'm not dissatisfied with the car, but I gotta tell you, there's really not a lot to fall in love with. This is very much a economy single person's car, or you're using it as a strictly utilitarian vehicle. So you know, I'm really gonna give this like a 6 out of 10. I'm not seeing the value. I mean, I see the value compared to what other things cost nowadays. I mean, compared to a $50,000 truck, yeah, this is a great value, but only in comparison to a vehicle that costs double. You know what I mean? So I know I'm rambling a bit here, but yeah, the great visibility, good headroom, good handling, good get up and go, great little, a great amount of utility in a relatively small vehicle. Styling is pretty good, lighting is good. Downside, definitely feels like a very budget entry-level vehicle. Really pretty stripped down given its price. And we're not comparing it just against the big three. We have to compare it against all vehicles. So I would imagine if you're looking for a commuter car, there might be some better values out there. If you need a little pickup, this might be your best value right now at the given moment in time. Anyway, that's my 30-day review. 6 out of 10. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't think you really get a lot for your money here, but it is pretty zippy. So if you're going to get one of these, I would tell you definitely cough up the extra money for the Turbo 4. You'll be glad you did. The hybrid, I have not driven it, but I've been told is kind of lacking. So I'm glad I opted for the Turbo 4.